Hello friends, welcome to LeggLife, and today we are talking about our very favorite topic. We're talking about Disney cruises.
So we know that many of you may have given or received a Disney cruise for Christmas or are in the planning process of your Disney cruise for 2019 or 2020. So we have some tips for you. So we're just going to jump right in with number one.
Some of you may have a small number of days until your cruise. Some of you may have a long time. But no matter how many days you have, our number one tip, start your countdown. Start getting excited, because I promise you, we've gone on cruises where we've had more than a year to wait, and that year has flown by.
Yep. So our favorite way to keep track of how long we have until our next Disney cruise is with the Disney Cruise Line app. We can just put in your date, and it shows it right there with the countdown.
So we currently have 32 days until our next Disney cruise. And you guys, we check this app all of the time because like every little milestone, like going from 50 days to 40 days and 40 days to 30 days, like we text our friends we're going with, we're so excited. So use
that 100 to 99 is so exciting because it's like double digits.
Well, and I remember we've booked cruises where it's been more than a year, and then it's like it gets below 365 days. So use some kind of countdown, whether it's the app, whether it's like, I don't know, anything at all, but just start getting excited for your cruise.
And number one leads us right into number two.
While we know that you're excited and you want to like book everything right now, that's not really how it works with Disney. So Disney uses booking windows, and your booking window is based on how many times you have sailed with Disney and what level Castaway Club member you are. So if this is your first Disney cruise, you're actually not yet a Castaway Club member, and so you can't make reservations for things like Palo or Remy dining, for some of the meet and greets, for those kind of things until 75 days before you're sailing. Now, if you're a Platinum Castaway Club member, that means you've sailed 10 or more times on Disney Cruise Line, then you can book 120 days before you're sailing. So definitely start your research, start looking at the kind of things you want to book, but remember, a lot of times you have to wait quite a while until you book. So definitely enter, like for us, I enter in my iCal on my phone the day our booking window opens, and I go on immediately and start booking stuff. But for many of you, be excited, but know that you really can't book things, so you're not missing out until your booking window opens. And that kind of leads us into our number three tip.
If you were not able to get the booking that you wanted for Palo or for Remy or for the meet and greets or whatever, don't lose hope. You may be able to still book it on the ship.
Yeah, as soon as you get on board, go to guest services. So maybe it is you wanted first dining, but you got second dining, or you, like Sherri said, you couldn't get your dining reservation. A lot of times we've heard a lot of success stories where people are able to go to guest services and get what they want. Yeah. So when your booking window opens, maybe you don't get it. Fingers crossed, you still can by going to guest services on the ship. And that's actually one of the tips that's not really on our list, but one of the things we've learned with Disney Cruise Line, always ask. Yeah. If there is something you want, maybe you couldn't get, or a request you have, ask. Disney does such a good job trying to make this vacation as memorable and perfect as possible. Yeah. So ask for what you want.
Mm-hmm. And now tip number four.
If you are sailing during the upcoming summer of 2019 and you're on the Disney Fantasy, honestly, I'm really jealous of you. Because Disney is doing something that it has not done before. It's doing Mickey and Minnie's Surprise Party at Sea. Basically, it's Mickey's 90th birthday party on Disney Cruise, and it's only on select sailings summer of 2019 on the Disney Fantasy. So if you are on any of those sailings, don't miss that stuff, because the exclusive like parties and meet and greets and those kind of things, those aren't going to happen again. Like, you have an opportunity that most people on Disney Cruise Line will never get, so don't miss that.
Tip number five, plan as much as you want to. If you're like Adam, you want to plan every single detail, you want to know every single detail before you even step foot on the boat.
But you are not that way, right?
Right.
How come?
Well, I like to be surprised. Like, I don't want to watch every YouTube video there is about the lobby on the boat, because I want to see it for myself and actually like feel it.
Whereas for me, I just think like we're spending a lot of money, right? It's a lot of time. And I know that cruising can be kind of confusing, right? There's a lot of details that are different for other kind of vacations. And so for me, like knowing pretty much everything before I step foot on the boat helps our time on the boat to be as perfect as possible. So if you're like me and want to watch all the YouTube videos and read all the blogs and like all of the articles, do that. If you're like Sherri and you want none of that, just go on the ship and be totally surprised. It's beautiful. You're going to be blown away. So do as much planning as you want to do.
Yeah.
And tip number 6, after you book your cruise is the time to start figuring out exactly what kind of vacation you want to have. And this is one of the reasons we love Disney Cruise so much, is that on a boat with 2,000 people, there are 2,000 different types of vacations happening. There are people on there that just want days and days of relaxation. They don't want to, that's Sherri. They don't want to do like any of the activities. They don't really want to do anything. It's all about relaxation. But there are other people who just like, they want to do port adventures. They want to swim with dolphins. They want to do water slides. They want to do every single movie and every single show. And they get to do that too. Yep. And both of those vacations get to exist on one ship. Yep. So that's one of the questions for you is as you're planning this, decide, what do I want to get out of this vacation? Like, is this relaxation? Is this adventure and fun and busyness and go, go, go?
Yep.
Maybe it's a mixture of both.
Yep. And I would say be sure to include everybody in your party in that decision, because he and I vacation differently, and I want to sit by the pool and read a book for hours on end, and he wants to go to the movies and go see the shows and go see like everything, and that's okay. Like, you don't have to spend every second of every day together.
Yeah, that's right. So for me to have the kind of vacation I want means that there's times when I have to go like explore the ship, because that's interesting to me, while Sherri sits by the pool with a book and a drink of the day.
Yes. Tip number 7, research your ports of call.
There is a ton of information that can be found online, not just on the Disney Cruise site, but on lots of other websites about the ports that you're going to be visiting. And this is really helpful because sometimes in ports there are safety issues. There's places in town that you don't want to go, you kind of want to avoid. But also by doing research, you can learn things and areas and restaurants and places that locals might love that maybe you wouldn't know otherwise.
Yeah.
And I'd say to remember that if a port does not interest you, it is completely okay to stay on the ship. Yep. For example, for us, we've been to Nassau now 3 times, I think. We don't necessarily love it as far as getting off the ship, so we view Nassau for us as an extra at-sea day. We stay on the ship, and we absolutely love it. So just because the ship goes to the port does not mean you have to get off the ship there. But you definitely do want to do research on all of the ports so you have the best experience possible.
Tip number 8, maybe you haven't actually booked your cruise yet, but you're still in the planning stage. Our tip is book as early as possible.
A lot of times people will wait to book travel because they think that the closer to the date, the cheaper the price gets. And honestly, on a lot of cruise lines and hotels and other things, that actually is true.
Not so with Disney.
Not so with Disney. In fact, normally the cheapest price you're going to get is the day that the cruises are released. So not all cruises for 2020 have even been released yet. So if you're still looking for later in 2020 to sail, I would just say do your research now and be ready as soon as those sailings are released, because if you can book that very first day or in the couple first days, you're definitely going to get the best price with Disney. Yep. And tip number 9, do not wait on time-sensitive items.
We have heard horror stories about people who wait to the last minute to do passports or medications or what have you. Don't do it.
You've put all of this time and all of this money into planning this dream vacation. Take care of that stuff early so that you don't have like last minute chaos, because it definitely seems like there's always a few bumps in the road the last few weeks leading up to a cruise. Just make sure that it's not with something that you absolutely have to set sail.
Yeah. And our final tip, number 10, start shopping.
This actually kind of goes along with the last one, but a lot of times you're participating in Fish Extender, or you want like Disney Cruise swag, or you want like matching group t-shirts, or Disney Cruise ears. And those are things that sometimes have to be made and shipped and ordered, and you don't want those things to be delayed and then you miss them. Right. So just as we said earlier, don't wait on time-sensitive items. Don't wait to start shopping for all of your Disney Cruise swag either. So you guys, those are just 10 things that we think will be very, very helpful for you as you're planning your 2019-2020 Disney Cruise. But here's the thing I will say. Your vacation is going to be amazing. Disney Cruise is spectacular. It is wonderful. It is by far the best vacation that we love the most.
It's magical.
It is magical. You're going to love it. So take a breath, enjoy the process. It's going to be amazing. And let us know in the comments below, what is your favorite Disney Cruise planning tip?
We will see you on the next LeggLife video.